If London hadn't blazed the trail on security cameras, they may never have come to Baltimore, and this terrifying scene may have had an even worse ending. Let's back it up. Here, caught on camera, you see a young man ambling in the shadows. Next, a young woman walks into camera range. She's smoking, talking on a cell phone. Suddenly, the man grabs her and drags her out of view. In scarcely 2 minutes, with an apparent crime in progress, the cops arrive at the scene.
We got there in seconds because we've been watching this guy walking around in a suspicious manner.
Bad guys on candid camera. Baltimore now uses about 500 cameras. In Chicago, there are as many as 2,000, and now a plan to mount them in Manhattan. These plans are inspired by London's so-called Ring of Steel, first created to combat terrorist acts by the Irish Republican Army. Now a weapon in the war against new terrorist threats like the bungled car bomb attacks in the UK. But in Britain, the number of surveillance cameras is huge, 200,000 or more, and far more advanced than in the United States. But Baltimore's police commissioner says it's almost inevitable that the U.S. will catch up.
That's the way of the world, Joe. This is what we've come to. And the genie's out of the bottle. It's not going to go back. The threat of terrorism, the threat of gangs, the threat of violence on the street, it's not going to go back.
Baltimore claims a 17% reduction in violent crime in neighborhoods with the cameras. Though criminals are seldom caught in the act, evidence, witnesses, license plates still help investigations.
The feedback from the community has been fantastic, and as a matter of fact, most people want cameras in their neighborhoods.
But try to tell that to this woman who has a beauty shop on a corner where the cameras have been up for more than a year. She asked us not to show her face on TV.
Has the crime changed at all since the camera came?
Absolutely not. No, I have been a victim of crime since I've been here several times.
Some of the people we talked to on the street didn't even believe the cameras work at all.
Do they do anything?
No.
Do people believe they work?
Some people probably do, I don't.
He should. While we were shooting that interview, police surveillance cameras could see us with him. While we were taping the neighbors, the police were taping us, taping the neighbors. As for privacy issues, don't these people have a right not to be on camera? Not really, says the commish.
Oh, there's no expectation of privacy when you have common areas, no.
The street, of course, qualifies as a common area.
The only thing these cameras monitor are things that an officer on the street could see with their eyes.
But there is this issue. Who gets to see the video and control how it's used? Local public defenders wonder whether police preserve so-called exculpatory videos, the kind of tapes that could get a client off the hook.
They get to pick when they want to save them, and then we may find out after the fact that there's something that we want to subpoena. It may or may not be available at that point.
No, defense lawyer obviously would ask you, are you as willing to give up exculpatory evidence that may be caught on tape?
If the law says we have to do that, we'll do that.
But you don't freely give it up.
If, in fact, we have to do that legally, we will give that up.
So if they work, why aren't there more of these cameras? There are lots of small reasons, but some of the biggest impediments have been concerns about privacy and whether cameras will ever be a suitable replacement for cops on the beat. Joe John, CNN, Baltimore.